With the vendor scene blowing up and getting very saturated, it is hard to stand out right now. This product we're about to review may help you out a little bit. We are going to take a deep dive into the APX case risers. As you can see, we're not dealing with our boring old case just sitting flat on our table. We have elevated up to a new level with these guys, and there's a lot of benefits, there's a lot of pros, there are some cons, but we're gonna go over each and every single one of those and see if this is something that may work for you. Let's get into it. All right, let's start off with a few basics: dimensions, weight, thickness of steel, things like that. So we have two different versions. We have a standard version, which is your standard height, and then you have your low profiles. The low profile is about half the height of the standards. And when it comes to dimensions for these guys, you're looking at 29 inches long, you're looking at about 3 inches wide, and about 10 inches tall. This one, the low profile, you're looking at about 30 inches long, same 3 inches of width, and then about 5 inches of height. So again, about half the height difference in them. This one is technically raising your case from the top end of the actual riser down to the base about 9 inches. This one you're looking at about 4 inches. So again, about half of the height of your standard version in the low profile. Now when it comes to weight, these things weigh anywhere between about 3 to 5 pounds each. I personally have not weighed them to know exactly what they weigh. They do get a little hefty whenever you're trying to carry multiple things around. Both of these guys are made of A1011 carbon steel. They're both 11 gauge steel, so they're very, very sturdy and rigid when it comes to being able to keep their shape and form, especially over time. Again, I haven't had mine very long, but even just in the short span I have and beating them up and using them consistently, they've done very, very well, which I would expect so. So these are all custom designed, custom cut, bent, and everything in-house by APX. They're located in Wise County, so they're not far from the DFW Metroplex, but they only take about 30 to 45 minutes to make one set. So they are really trying to pump these out, and especially for venues. When it comes to venues, if I'm not mistaken, I believe NTX Card Show has bought a bunch of them for people to rent at the shows. So you could actually rent these at the show you're going to without having to buy them yourself and worry about traveling with them, things like that, which is fantastic. As you can see, both of these are painted a standard black color. I believe that is the standard color that they come in, but I was told by the owner that you can do custom colors. I don't know what the range or spectrum of colors there is to choose from, but you can do custom colors. As far as these go, they're just spray painted, but they are working on powder coating, so they're gonna be constantly upgrading and updating these things. Like I said, this is a very brand new product. Now, when it comes to pricing, right now, both of these are the same price. You can get them for $60 for one set, so two of these guys is $60, either route you go. You can get 2 sets of them for $110, or 3 sets of them for $150. So a little bit more discounted every level you go up. I was informed that that price will not last very long. Because of future changes that are coming to these guys that are gonna take more time and more labor, the prices of these are not gonna stay this way. They are going to be going up soon. So if you are seeing this video and you're wanting these and you're wanting to purchase these, now is the time. All right, let's dive into some positives and negatives on these guys. In my opinion, the positives do outweigh the negatives, but I want you to decide that for yourself. So the first positive is obviously it allows the case to be up at an angle slightly, maybe a little more slightly, to help prevent glare and reflections from the lights above you. So I have seen this to be mostly constructive and does what it's supposed to, but I've also been to other shows where the angle, because of the lighting in the venue, the angle doesn't really help a ton. Now, in my opinion, it definitely helps a lot more with customers when they're on the other side of the table and they're looking at the case instead of having to bend over. If they're having to do this in order to get the reflection out of the top see-through window, it definitely helps being able to just stand up and they're not having to bend. They're really just looking right in this area versus down here. So I have had customers compliment me on, oh, I'm so glad I don't have to bend over. So that does help. It is a benefit. The other benefit is storage. You can put storage underneath these things. So per example, both of these obviously are gonna give you some storage. Now this one is not gonna give you as much storage underneath, but you can fit small, I mean, you can fit a binder under here, no problem. This one, you're going to get a lot more storage. I've had drinks underneath this thing, books, all sorts of other accessories. I can stack cards, deck boxes, whatever it is, they can fit under here, no problem. Now my cases, they actually are lit up. So they are electrified with lights, and I can stick the battery pack underneath or the power bank underneath it, even with this low profile one. So this helps a ton with the storage underneath, because I can't put anything underneath here. It's just not happening, obviously. So that, in my opinion, is one of the biggest benefits of having these on your table. Now, the third thing that I would say is a huge benefit is that when you are putting this case on here, you are essentially eliminating almost everyone from setting stuff on top of your case. Now that I have this on there, they don't even ask. They know that there's nowhere to put it. Doing this really will prolong the life of your case when it comes to the actual exterior acrylic part of this case. Now, one of the other benefits that I really like is that these are stackable. They're stackable within their own versions, but they also are kind of stackable within themselves or with each other when it comes to having both the low profile and standard versions. You can stack them together and carry them as one piece. It's not like you're having to lug two separately at the same time, so that definitely does help. Let's get into a few negatives. Some of the negatives on these guys would definitely be the weight. They do weigh a lot. And for transportation wise, you can't really fly with them. That alone would prevent a lot of, I would say, larger vendors from doing these, just because you won't be able to travel with them. But it could be something that you keep at home, and for all your local shows, this is what you bring to it, something like that. If you travel in a car, fantastic, no problem. You're good to go. And one other, I would say again, a minor thing would be transportation. Even if you are just driving with them, and obviously you're transporting them with you, this shape doesn't bend or fold or move. So as far as storage goes, when you're putting it in your car or having to put it in your travel wagon, they get a little encumbersome. They're not quite ideal when it comes to the shape and being able to fit it with other things. It's not an exact square, or rectangle, anything like that. It is somewhat of an odd shape. So when it comes to actually playing Tetris with the items in your wagon, it does make it a little tricky. But again, minor flaw. Now that you've seen all the goods, all the bads, you know how much they weigh, you know how much they cost, you know how big they are, you know the benefits that they give you, what are you gonna give it out of a 5-star rating? Me personally, I'm giving it a 4 out of 5. Really, the only things holding these back are the transportation capabilities and the weight. Outside of that, these things provide a lot more benefit at a show than not. So in my opinion, they're a no-brainer yes, especially if you do a lot more local stuff, especially if you're not flying in order to do your vending. These are fantastic. So that is APX Risers, APX Case Risers, because I do have another video that I'm going to be working on talking about their card risers. So they have actually taken the same principle and idea, but turned it into the risers that you stick inside of the case. So that will be really cool and fun to see how those stack up against, especially the 3D printed ones that you may see everywhere right now at every show. Again, thank you for watching the video. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe and like if you want. Leave in the comments something else you'd like me to see me review. There's tons of options. I will be doing the Amazon case very soon. Again, the other APX card risers. Let me know, what else? I could do a review on the banners. I could do a review on the table covers. You name it, I'm here to help. So I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you.